Block 1. What if I told you that your house, your office, and even the park you walk through every day are secretly influencing your future? It is not just about what you do or who you speak to. It is about where you are. Most of us believe we are the only pilots of our lives. We believe in absolute free will. But what if there are invisible hands on the steering wheel? We are revealing the hidden forces in your daily environment. Forces that are silently dictating your potential, molding your decisions, and ultimately steering your destiny without you even noticing. You are not just living in a space. The space is living through you. Stop for a moment. Look around you. What do you see? Walls, furniture, lights, objects. To your conscious brain, this is just scenery. It is the inert background where your life happens. But to your subconscious, this is not scenery. This is a code. We are biological creatures programmed to survive and adapt to our terrain. For thousands of years, environment meant the savanna, the jungle, the cave. Knowing how to read the environment meant the difference between life and death. Today, we have swapped the jungle for concrete, glass, and drywall. But our ancient brain has not changed. It keeps scanning. It keeps reacting. These are the invisible architects. These are not people. They are environmental forces. They are the geometry of your living room, the temperature of the light in your bedroom, the height of the ceiling in your office. They are the silent screenwriters who dictate whether today you will have focus or anxiety, whether you will feel hope or despair. Winston Churchill once said, "We shape our buildings, thereafter they shape us." He was right, but perhaps he did not know just how deeply right he was. Let's analyze this in scale. From the micro to the macro. At the micro level, your bedroom. It is the first place you see when you open your eyes, and the last before you close them. If your room is chaos, with clothes piled up, lights blinking from electronics, and aggressive colors, you start the day with your nervous system in a state of alert. You spend your decision battery before you even eat breakfast just to visually navigate the mess. The invisible architect of your room is whispering, "Life is confusing. You are behind. You have no control." Now expand to the macro level, your city. Have you ever felt trapped or attracted to certain paths without knowing why? Hostile urbanism, narrow sidewalks, the lack of a horizon, the predominant gray. Studies show that people who live in cities with little green space have chronically high cortisol levels. The city is not just where you live. It is an organism that interacts with your biology. If the city is designed for cars and not for people, the invisible architect is saying, "You do not belong here. You are an obstacle. Move fast or be crushed." How can we expect to control our destiny if the stage where we perform is constantly sabotaging our performance? Let's go deeper into the science of this. There is a fascinating field called neuroarchitecture. It is where neuroscience meets design, and what they discovered is frighteningly precise. Let's talk about the workspace. For decades, we were pushed into open-plan offices. The idea was to promote collaboration and transparency. But what did the invisible architecture of these spaces actually do? It destroyed privacy and increased paranoia. When you are exposed on all sides, your reptilian brain does not relax. It feels the need to watch your back. The result? Productivity drops, anxiety rises. People use headphones as shields, isolating themselves more than if they were in closed rooms. The building commanded social behavior, but in the opposite direction of what was intended. And what about the physical structure? The Cathedral Effect. Have you ever entered an old church or a grand hotel lobby and felt something change in your breathing? High ceilings activate areas of the brain linked to abstraction and creativity. They make us think big. They connect distant ideas. On the other hand, low ceilings favor focus on details and repetitive tasks. But if they are too low, they induce a sense of confinement and limited thinking. If you are trying to have the big idea of your life sitting in a tight cubicle with a dropped ceiling, you are fighting against the physics of your own brain. The invisible architect has placed a ceiling not just on your head, but on your mind. Let's talk about shapes. Humans have an innate preference for curves. In nature, few things are perfectly straight or angular. Sharp angles, points, and jagged corners activate the amygdala, the fear center of the brain. They suggest danger, thorns, teeth, weapons. Brutalist buildings, full of concrete and right angles, might be aesthetically impressive, but they send a subconscious signal of hostility. Environments with soft, organic lines calm us down. Ask yourself, are the shapes around you putting you in defense mode or in creation mode? And we cannot forget light. Light is not just what allows us to see, it is what regulates our biological clock. The cold blue light of offices and hospitals suppresses melatonin. It keeps us in a state of artificial and exhausting alertness. It is the light of efficiency, but not of well-being. Warm, orange light mimics fire and the sunset. It signals rest, connection, and recovery. If you spend the day under fluorescent lights and the night looking at the blue light of your phone, you have broken the natural cycle. You have disoriented your organism. The invisible architect of light is manipulating your hormones, stealing your sleep, and consequently stealing your mental clarity to make vital decisions about your future. Often, when we talk about the energy of a place, people are skeptical. They think it is mysticism, but let's translate energy to accumulated sensory information. Your brain processes millions of bits of information per second, but you are only conscious of a tiny fraction. The rest? The rest is sensation. It is the vibe of the place. Let's talk about the loudest invisible force of all: noise pollution. Sound is a physical force. It touches you. Sound waves vibrate your bones. If you live in an environment with constant noise, traffic, sirens, neighbors, humming air conditioning, your body never enters deep rest. Studies show that urban noise pollution is directly linked to cardiovascular disease and cognitive decline. Noise fragments thought. It is impossible to have deep, linear, complex thought, the kind of thought needed to change your destiny, if you are interrupted every 3 minutes by an auditory stimulus. Silence today is a luxury item, but it is in silence that the architecture of your mind solidifies. And what about smell? The most primitive sense, linked directly to memory and emotion, without passing through the rational filter. A place that smells of mold, strong chemicals, or stale air communicates decay and sickness. A place that smells of nature, wood, or fresh air communicates life. You can try to ignore it, but your limbic system does not ignore it. It is deciding whether you should flee or stay, based solely on the air you breathe. Now, the most powerful concept for your social life: the third places. Sociologist Ray Oldenburg coined this term. The first place is your home. The second is your work. The third place is where community happens: coffee shops, parks, bookstores. These are the places where you have no obligations, where social hierarchy is suspended, where conversation flows. A society, or an individual life without third places, is an isolated life. If the design of your routine eliminates these locations, you eliminate the chance of serendipity. You eliminate the chance of meeting that business partner, that love, that friend who would change your life. The absence of these spaces is an invisible architect building walls of loneliness around your destiny. Think about the broken windows theory. If an environment permits small signs of disorder, a broken window, graffiti, trash on the floor, this signals that no one cares. This invites more disorder and eventually serious crime. Apply this to your house, a sink full of dishes, a light bulb burnt out for months. These are the signs of disorder that tell your subconscious, we do not take care of things here. We are not prosperous. We are in decay. And your destiny adjusts itself to this architectural prophecy. In this first part, we unmasked the physical architects, the walls, the lights, the sounds, and the shapes that mold who you are when no one is looking. But there is a new frontier, an environment where you spend perhaps more time than in your own physical home, an environment that is not made of atoms, but of bits. In the next part, we will enter the matrix. We will discover how digital domains are rewriting the architecture of your mind, and how you can take back the pen and become the master architect of your own life. We have explored the physical world, but today we inhabit a second reality, a reality that is not built of bricks and mortar, but of code and pixels. The digital domain. You might think your phone is just a tool, like a hammer or a wrench, but a hammer does not try to manipulate your dopamine levels while you sleep. A hammer does not track your location and sell your behavioral patterns to the highest bidder. The digital environments we inhabit are the most sophisticated architectures of influence ever created. And unlike your bedroom or your office, these environments change in real time to exploit your weaknesses. Think about the architecture of a casino. No clocks, no windows, confusing layouts, flashing lights. Everything is designed to make you lose track of time and keep betting. Now look at your social media feed. It is the infinite scroll. There are no stopping cues. There is no bottom of the page. In the physical world, when you finish a book, you close it. The architecture tells you, it is done. In the digital world, the architecture tells you, keep going. There is always more. This is not accidental design. This is predatory architecture. It is designed to erode your stopping mechanisms. Every time you pull down to refresh, you are pulling the lever of a slot machine. You don't know what you are going to get. A funny video? A catastrophic news story? A message from a friend? This variable reward schedule is the most addictive pattern known to psychology. The invisible architects of Silicon Valley are not building tools for your productivity. They are building labyrinths for your attention. And just like the open-plan office destroys your privacy, the digital architecture destroys your solitude. We used to have boundaries. You left work, and you were home. The physical distance created a mental distance. Now the office is in your pocket. The news cycle is in your bed. The opinions of strangers are at your dinner table. This collapse of boundaries creates a state of chronic, low-grade anxiety. You are never fully off. You are never fully safe. The architecture of your mind becomes porous, leaking energy into the void. Consider the echo chamber effect as a form of spatial design. If you lived in a house where the mirrors only showed you what you wanted to see, you would eventually go mad. The algorithm curates a digital room where everyone agrees with you, where your biases are reinforced, where your enemies are demonized. This creates a distorted map of reality. You begin to navigate the world based on a map that does not match the territory. and when you step out into the real world, you feel disoriented and hostile. So you retreat back into the digital womb. The digital architect has built a comfortable prison cell, and you have locked yourself inside. So how do we escape? How do we reclaim the pen and rewrite the script of our destiny? The first step is awareness. You must see the strings. You must look at your room, your office, and your phone and ask, what behavior is this space designed to produce? Is this space designed for my flourishing or for my extraction? Once you see the invisible architecture, you can begin to hack it. Start with the physical. Reclaim your first space, your home. Turn your bedroom into a sanctuary. Remove the screens. Remove the clutter. Use warm lighting in the evening to signal to your biology that the day is over. Make your bed every morning. It seems trivial, but it is an architectural declaration of order. You are telling your subconscious, I govern this space. Chaos does not live here. Curate your second space, your work. If you are stuck in an open office, create walls. Use noise-canceling headphones not just for music, but for silence. Orient your desk so you are not facing a wall, but facing the room or a window. This is the command position. It lowers the reptilian brain's need for surveillance. Seek out third places. Force yourself to go to environments that encourage connection without obligation. Go to the park. Sit in the library. Expose your biology to the fractal patterns of nature. Trees, clouds, water. These shapes reset your attention span. They heal the fatigue caused by the straight lines of the city. Now, the digital hack. Treat your phone like a dangerous power tool. Use it with safety goggles. Turn off all non-human notifications. If a real person isn't trying to talk to you, the machine shouldn't be allowed to buzz in your pocket. Turn your screen to grayscale. Remove the color. Suddenly, the slot machine looks like a utility. It loses its hypnotic power. Curate your feed ruthlessly. Unfollow accounts that make you feel inadequate, angry, or anxious. You are the curator of your own digital museum. Do not hang trash on the walls. And finally, practice environmental design for your habits. If you want to read more, do not rely on willpower. Willpower is a muscle that gets tired. Design is permanent. Put the book on your pillow. Hide the remote control in a drawer. Make the good behavior the path of least resistance. Make the bad behavior the path of most resistance. Be the architect, not the victim. We often think of destiny as something written in the stars. But destiny is written in the details. It is written in the height of your ceiling. It is written in the layout of your apps. It is written in the silence you allow into your life. You have the power to reshape these details, and in doing so, you reshape yourself. The world is constantly trying to mold you into a consumer, a worker, a cog in the machine. The environment is the mold. Break the mold. Design a space that demands you to be the best version of yourself. And then, watch how your destiny follows.